Hi, this is Summer with Summer's Tips and Stitches, and in this video I'm going to show you the two projects that I have made in the first couple weeks of spring break. I just completed the first full week. Well, not even technically full. Even though class was out, I had in-service days and we went in for special sessions and meetings and all that kind of jazz. So Monday I had a 2-hour thing to do. Tuesday was my evaluation. That was just 30 minutes. And then technically this past Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, today is Saturday, the 6th or 7th of June has been my official break. Okay, so the first thing that I finished is I did do one of those diamond dots that I had talked about in the Summer is Here video. So this is the one that I did. This is from scriptures, the Bible. There is a place in the Bible where it talks about Jesus going out walking on the water to the disciples who were on the ship. And Peter, at first the disciples all thought he was a ghost, right? And Peter called out, "If it's you, my Lord, call me out to walk to you." And Jesus is like, "Sure, Peter, come on out." And so Peter starts walking on the water towards Jesus. Then I think Peter gets a little freaked out, loses his, faith, if you will, because he's standing on the water and he starts to sink. This picture is depicting Jesus reaching down. And I kind of think about in my Christian faith, which, I'm not saying is your faith, obviously. It's just a good reminder that if you stay focused on Jesus, you stay focused on the path that he has laid for you, that's going to be the smoothest way to go. But there will be times when you slip up, you lose faith, you take your eyes off the path, and Jesus is there ready to pull you out of your mess. And so I really loved this picture. I think it has a good meaning for me. One thing, though, that I will tell you is I messed something up. I think when it came to the D, C, and D's, right over here, if you've never seen one of these diamond dots, they give you a number. These are the number of stones or things that you are going to be putting in there. There's 24. The middle column is the picture that you would see in the box, and it looked just like that. Little bluish circle with a 1 in it. Partway through, after having a certain number of numbers, it looks out after 8, it switches to the letters. It starts with A. So then we've got an A in a teal circle, or an A in a whatever. So when it came down here to C and D, I mixed them up. I put the D's on the C spot and I put the C on the D's. I didn't realize that until I was almost out of one of them. I don't remember if it was D or C because there wasn't enough. Let's just say for the sake of it, there were 50 C's and 100 D's. And when I was putting the C's on the D's, I obviously ran out and I'm like, oh shoot. So I problem solved by just taking the D's and putting them on all of the rest of the D's and the C's. So luckily I still think the C's and D's were mostly in this section right here and then in the 2 eye spots and then a little bit over here. I think it looks fine. I don't think you can tell that I mixed up my C's and D's. Okay, so there we go. That is the first thing that I did. My first summer project. I am going to trim it and put it in a frame like I did with my Starry Night. I still haven't hung that. I just don't know where I want to hang it. That's really my problem. Okay. The next thing I made, I'm looking for it. I don't know where I put it. Oh, here it is. One of my coworkers sent me an image. They screenshotted an image, sent it to me, and asked me if I would make that thing. Now, I'm going to insert a picture of what they wanted me to bake. Okay. So after scouring Etsy and Facebook and Google and whatnot, YouTube and all the things, I could not find an exact pattern that looked like that. What I did find though was a video from a woman, and I don't know what country she's from. I didn't pay very good attention, sorry. With that same picture as her YouTube thumbnail, her YouTube video thumbnail, where she then describes how to make something similar. Not exactly like it, similar. And she also does not speak in English. In this video, which I will link in the description below, she has like the computer, some kind of translator doing the talking, which I'll tell you, by the end of watching that video, my husband was imitating, and it was hilarious. After each direction, it's like, okay, you're going to do 10 single crochets, okay. So anyway, that was funny. So I followed that pattern, and this is what it looks like. It doesn't have a perfect circle there. Now, in the video, she alludes to the fact that she thinks that picture is AI. And I did zoom in, and I will tell you for sure, it's hard to tell. It does, I mean, I can't tell if it's AI or not. I know that what they have is a perfect circle here, and they still have these straight rows. And I don't know if you could actually have a perfect circle. I have seen people make something similar where they have a circle and they do like a granny square. You know, you do a process of like your tallest crochet, like treble crochet here, and then you taper to double, half double, single, and they kind of go around. Have you ever seen that in a granny? Where if you've started with a circle and even to square it out, you end up building up on the corners. Well, anyway, I did see a few like that, but this is similar as I think I can get to what my friend wanted. Now, I did make a few changes. First thing, what I did to change it was when I had just made it straight like the gal wanted, you do rows plain. You could look at it from this way. I think it's like 25 or 26 stitches across, and you do about 34, 35, I don't remember, rows up to here. Then you stop, fasten off, and then you do this piece where you only go about 10 stitches in, and then you go over, up. And then on this next row, over, decrease, same amount of stitches, decrease, same amount of stitches, decrease, and then you do like 1 or 2 rows. Then I think we stopped right here actually. Then attached a new piece of yarn, did the same process, came across, came over here, did a decrease, came all the way across, came over this way, decrease, over, decrease, and then you take your next, go all the way across, chain to make up for these missing stitches, which I think, I don't remember the number, chain, join here, go all the way across, and then all the way across, back and forth. What I did to make this part sturdy, because if you don't know what this is, which I didn't even tell you, they want you to take your charging cord for your cell phone, put it through this hole, and plug it into the wall. And so then this little thingy hangs on your charging cord, and then you put your cell phone in this pocket. I'm guessing it's for like if a time where you have a short charging cord and you don't have anywhere nearby to rest your phone and you don't want to put it on the floor. And then this hangs on the wall in front of the outlet with your charging cord in there, and then the cord in your phone right in that pocket. So this part here has to be sturdy. I noticed before I did my modification, it flopped. And then this has to be really sturdy to hold your phone. So what I did is I did an extra 3 rows. I folded this over and I put in a little dowel. Now I can't get it back in. Well, that's fine. I'll do it when I'm, so now this part here, if you can kind of see my end is hanging, was folded over and stitched. And then I have this dowel, this very thin dowel in the middle so that, it has a little bit firmer of something to hang on so it didn't like curve. Then I did some extra stitching in the corner of these pockets to give it a really firm attachment. So while the phone is in here, it doesn't pull too far. Now, I then just went and found my own daisy pattern, and I made those daisies, and then I did a little embroidery to give them leaves and a stem. Yeah, and so I made one of these. Now I will, like I said, I did show you the picture in the video. I will link the video that I watched in order to make this. I don't know if I'm going to make it again. I did not enjoy making it. Now, let's talk about the yarn. She, sadly, the language barrier and whatnot, it was difficult to see what she was doing. So the first time I did make it with worsted weight yarn, which makes it enormous. It's way too big and it's too floppy. See what I mean here about why I put the dowel in here? Because it needs it to stretch this out. That's why I gave it a couple extra rows and then I folded it over and put the dowel in there. I'm probably going to frog this out and put the yarn back with this. This was, I love this yarn. Amethyst. What I ended up using to make my purple, I actually don't have a ball band. A while back ago, a friend, acquaintance of mine, I guess had done some kind of auction and got this box amongst other storage things. And in it was old yarn and knitting needles. And so this is the yarn I used. I'm not kidding you, you guys. It's called Luster Sheen Red Heart. This is back when it was owned by Coats & Clark, Red Heart. Luster Sheen. This is 100% acrylic. And I'm trying to find what size. What are they calling it? They're not actually saying, but this is how thin it is. Okay, this is how thin it is. I used 2. So in the bin that I got from my friend, I have this teal, a red, yellow, a glittery white, and a really nice jade, or a really nice blue sapphire color. So I actually had 2 purple in there, blessing. This is what I have left. I'm guessing this one had already been used a little bit for something else. And I held 2 strands together. So when I was crocheting to make that second one, I was holding these 2 strands together. And I was using a 3.4 or 3.5 crochet hook. That is what I was using to make it. I think this has got to be like, well, it said acrylic. I just thought that this was more structured. And because I held the 2 together, I think it makes it less floppy, more supportive for a cell phone. Because they are heavy. Cell phones are heavy, you guys. And then this white is a leftover of a mandala cake. And this yellow, interestingly enough, I got in a box. When I bought my, my generic brand of a knitting machine, that came with 6 skeins of yarn, like a pink, a yellow, a red. This yellow was in there, so I used these. These are just 2 scraps. So basically it was made out of all scrap yarn, which is nice. So I didn't have to buy anything new. It's really nice when you can shop your hoard, use your hoard for a project. Is it a terrible project? No. I just don't know. It is kind of cute. Maybe I would do it again and put something else here, or maybe nothing. I don't know. It was nice. I mean, it was a nice, simple thing. And this this Luster Sheen yarn was really nice. The label is really old. I wonder if I can even find a date on here. Average knitting gauge is 6 stitches in 1 inch. I don't see a date on here. Manufactured in the U.S. by Coats & Clark, Stamford, Connecticut. Yeah, I don't see. But, I mean, it's fairly old. But, I mean, it worked really well for this project. So that really is it, you guys. That is what I've done. I did a diamond dots, and I made a little cell phone charger holder. Like I said, there are a few going around on Etsy. I found no pattern that really shows you. I thought about crocheting around possibly a hair tie, or maybe going to Hobby Lobby or Michael's and trying to find a ring to crochet around. But once you've crocheted around that ring, I'm not 100% sure how you are going to get these nice straight rows I mean, maybe some of you crocheters know that. To attach, oh, this is a second piece of the same stitch mark, and I want to say only 24 rows, and then I just slip stitched it across the bottom and up the side to create the pocket for your phone to go in. All right, you guys, my next, I have no idea what project I want to crochet. Maybe do some amigurumi, I don't know. I've been looking on Facebook, just tooling around, you know, and I think lately on Facebook I'm getting far more ads than I'm actually seeing what my friends are doing. But I saw these really cute crochet cats or animals, I don't know, but it's using the Bernat blanket yarn or whatever generic supplement you find. So I might make one of those. I don't know. I don't feel inspired to make anything. Yeah, I don't feel like, oh, I really need this. Right now I'm kind of in this weird place where I literally have my bed's like higher up off the floor. My husband put it on stilts, okay, because he's 6'3" and wanted a higher bed, right? But anyway, I can slide laundry baskets under the edge of my bed, which is kind of nice. And under my bed, I have one full of purses and 2 laundry baskets, pretty sizable rectangle laundry baskets, full of stuff I've crocheted that I don't really know what to do with. A couple sweaters, shawls. I mean, I really loved making shawls for a while, but I don't ever wear them. Honestly, I never do. The sweaters I made were horrendous. They're not to be worn in public. I am not a sweater maker. And so I don't really know. I donated the rest of all my hats to the warming shelter at the end of winter for next year. So, I mean, I do need to start getting, you know, start piling up my collection of hats for my next year's Christmas, but I don't really know. I mean, you guys have seen, I'll hold my camera really still. You've seen all those amigurumis I've made. Oh, look at that. I got a bunch of shelves on that side, and then a bunch over there. They're kind of full. So I'm not really sure what I want to do. Send me your ideas. Put a link in the description. I have thought about doing that giant chicken. There's a gal in our Facebook group called Karen, named Karen, and she had posted these really cute chickens she had made. So I am debating trying to find that pattern and make it. It's like a stuffed animal. But anyway, you guys, I've had a great start to my summer. I got myself a nice lawn chair. I'm laying out in the sun with sunscreen, don't worry. But still laying up, feeling warm, relaxing, driving my kids around, right? Because Jer has a job. Maddie is working on getting a job. And so, gotta take them. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking and sharing my videos. And until the next video, happy crafting. Bye.